Hello everyone, I'm Preeti. I'm the registered migration agent at Aussizz Group. Today I'm going to talk about the topic about cookery, the commercial cookery, and its PR pathway. So basically, as we all have always been hearing that cookery is a good course, it leads to the residency, and it has got a lot of benefits. It have got a great career ahead and everything. Yes, that's the thing. Yeah, definitely, I completely agree with it. From all the years, cookery have always been a very consistent kind of an occupation or a study that you choose, which leads to the residency. And consistently from so many years, I've been seeing this one. So how it leads to and what all are the careers that leads to the permanent residency, or the careers that you could take it as part of the cookery when you study commercial cookery. So basically it is a course which is for certificate 3, certificate 4, and a diploma, all including. It's a 2 years course. Once you finish this course, you are eligible to get a TR, which is a graduate visa, and which is a 485 visa. There are different names to it, and you get an 18 months of a TR while holding your graduate visa. To become a cook or a chef, you have to do the job ready program, which gives you a skills assessment. And then further, after the job ready program, you have to lodge your expression of interest based on your points of the different factors of your age, English, and all that. You will receive invitations. Different states have got different requirements. Different states have got different points, minimum points required for this, but these occupations are generally open in each and every state. Or we consider this in the hospitality sector, which is really in demand for the purpose of the immigration. Now there's another pathway for this one, which is a restaurant manager, cafe or a restaurant manager. That also comes through the cookery pathway. What I generally advise to all of you or to my clients is that while studying, if you take an part-time experience of the restaurant manager while you are studying your commercial cookery, then probably you do not even need a job ready program to apply for the residency. There's another skills assessment that you can get, which is for the restaurant manager. And in many of the cases, while studying, also that will be considered. Why I have said that in many of the cases, not everyone, because for this purpose, what you need is, if while studying you are having an experience to get into a skills assessment of restaurant manager, then probably you must have any other diploma, minimum a diploma level qualification from your back home country or from Australia only, that you must have completed. Because if you do your experience while studying, then you need at least an irrelevant diploma, which is not highly relevant to the hospitality, and then further the 1 year experience. For example, what I'm trying to say is, let's say after year 12, you have come here and you are studying certificate 3, 4, and the diploma. Then any experience that you are taking while studying, then that is post year 12 qualification. That is not post diploma qualification. That will not be considered as a skilled for the purpose of a restaurant manager. However, if you already had any bachelor's degree, any diploma, minimum a diploma qualification from your home country, or even from Australia, which is equivalent to an Australian qualification, and while studying the cookery, you are taking experience even for a part time for 1 year, that all experience can be counted as a skilled and can be considered towards your skills assessment for the wet assess. So, in the hindsight, what you would be doing is, while studying, you are making yourself ready for a restaurant manager skills assessment. And once you finish your diploma, if you go for a job ready program, then you are making yourself eligible for two different nominated occupations. and you never know in which one you will get invitation first, because for the job ready program, while you are doing your job ready program, you have already lodged your expression of interest under the restaurant manager, because you have got a skills assessment based on the qualification and experience which you had while studying and before even that also, and that will lead you to this. So you may not have to finish your job ready program, and you may receive an invitation based on a restaurant manager, because in the end the points are generally the same, and all the states are open for cafe and restaurant manager as well as cook as well as chef also. And secondly, when you're doing your job ready program, try to choose both the occupations for a cook as well as for a chef. In an instance, I have received ample amount of people who comes to me, and then they say that my friend has been invited, I'm not invited. We have got the same points, and we have lodged the expression of interest at the same time. Then why my friends being invited and why not me? Generally, in those scenarios, what I have seen, because the friend who has done the expression of interest in your job ready program outcome, it specifically says it is for two occupations. It is for a cook as well as for a chef. But people generally only lodge one expression of interest for a chef only. They do not tend to lodge for the cook, and maybe the rounds which has been for the cook at that point of time, and they were invited under the cook because there were more yoas, more competition in the chef at that point of time, and the other person has not received an invitation in that instance. So it is very important to see the outcome of your job ready program. If you have got both the occupations nominated in that, and you have got a successful outcome of cook as well as a chef, I would highly recommend to lodge these separate EOIs for these separate occupations, and even the subclass is also separate. Do not lodge your expression of interest for all the subclasses into one EOI only. For instance, a chef, you can lodge a 189, 190, and a 491 EOI. I would not recommend lodging all three into the one. Make separate EOI for each, so that you get more chances of receiving an invitation on the each EOI for its own prospects, rather than all combining into one. For instance, if you have lodged an EOI for Western Australia, and your EOI you have lodged for 190 and a 491 in each in the same EOI, once you have received an invitation on a 491 with the same EOI number, even if you are eligible in the next round for a 190, you will not receive the invitation. The invitation is based on the number of the EOI number that you have it. It is not based on the subclass for Western Australia. So please ensure that you use or you lodge the separate EOIs when you are lodging for each occupation as well as for each subclass also. Now, when we talk about a chef, it goes with three EOIs with a 189, 190, and a 491. Cook and restaurant manager, they are not in a long term list as yet, so you can only lodge a 190 and a 491. But the chances in all these five EOIs is great, and we do not see many people not being invited into this, as long as you have got some tail end time left on your graduate visa. The major issues that most of the students are facing or challenging is the time frame which you have to manage for your job ready program. It is utterly very, very important aspect. Earlier, in order to start your job ready program, the applicant must be a holder of a graduate visa or must have lodged the 485 visa, or the student visa is expiring within the last 4 months. Now, under the new guidelines of job ready program, this is not required anymore. Even if you're, when the minute you finish your certificate 4 in commercial cookery, please ensure that you start your job ready program without even wasting a single day, because the time that you are doing your provisional skills assessment, that is when you have finished your certificate 4, you can start your provisional skills assessment. and that takes 3 months for a PSA outcome. Your PSA outcome, once that's out, then you can lodge your graduate visa when your diploma is finished. So all that time you do not have to wait for your diploma to finish and then start your job ready program, because then it will eat up your first 3 months of your graduate visa. Instead of that, try to do your job ready program right after the completion of your certificate 4, so that all that time and those 3 months you can add in your graduate visa also. And then instead of 12 months, your graduate visa will only take the 9 months, because you will have the prior employment also claimed. When you do your graduate visa, or when you do your job ready program, whichever employer you are going to start your program with, please ensure that you start working with the same employer, and so that you can claim all those hours. You can claim the prior employment the day you are doing your stage 2 or a step 2 of your job ready program, and whatever work you have undertaken in the last 3 months, that all the hours you can claim for a prior employment. Those 3 hours are very important. Those 3 months are very important, because now when you are only going to get 18 months for your graduate visa, and probably after that, as we are hearing, there are no student visas and you may not be able to extend your time on any other visas, then probably this becomes very important for every student to manage their time most efficiently, so that within the time frame of completion of the job ready program and expression of interest and the state invitation all happens within those 18 months. It is bang bang bang, one after the other thing. So the time management or on the organizing your skills is very important in this aspect. Now we talk about the points that under which this is being getting in the invitations act. Previously 65, 70 were enough, but right now, because every state has got lesser number of seats and the quotas are less available as compared to the last financial year, there have been a little bit more competition into this. I would highly recommend everybody to look into their English and try to get the higher scores in their English, so that they can go towards the highest proper their highest potential when the new financial year is starting. For example, you are already holding an outcome of a cook and a chef, and majority of states are already closed for the state invitation. Now is the time to work on your points, because your EOIs are already lodged. You are just waiting for the states to reopen so that the invitations round should finish. So that you can receive the invitations from each state. If you want that, then definitely work on your English, whether it is superior English, whether it is, if you are holding a competent, try to go with a proficient. If you are having a proficient English, try to go with a superior. Get on to Nati. If your spouse is there, get the competent for the spouse also, or whatever are the avenues where you can increase your points. You must definitely look into that, because competition is not going to be easy for any occupation, even though it's a priority occupation, but still there's a lot of competition, because the number of seats are already limited for every individual to receive their state invites. Now, moving forward with the program for the job ready, it is, as I said, it's a sorry, it's a 4-step process. In step 1 is a provisional skills assessments, that's PSA. For this, you must have completed a certificate 4. You do not have to wait for your diploma to be completed in order to lodge the step 1 of a job ready program. As a holder of your student visa, you can surely apply for your PSA. All you need is your certificate 4 and 360 hours of a vocational training which you have completed while studying. So, as a part of your curriculum of commercial cookery 3 and 4, there is 360 hours, or some institute does it for 400 hours also. The vocational placements at the places where you generally go and fill up your logbooks. Make sure you have got all of those ones, so that you complete your PSA while doing your diploma. And once you have completed your diploma and your PSA is lodged or probably by the time it would have been, your outcome must also have been received. You need your English score. The requirement of the English score has also been increased, which is 6.5, and then you can lodge your graduate visa. When you have lodged your graduate visa or your PSA has been finished, has been completed, the outcome has come, whatever comes first, you must lodge your job ready program stage 2. The step 2 is that you enroll for the employer where you are going to complete your job ready program with. The We generally recommend that it should be the same employer where you have been working previously also, because if it's the same employer, then you can claim all the hours that you have completed within the last 3 months when you are enrolling yourself for the step 2 for a job ready program. If you do that, then your, instead of the 12 months, your program can be completed in the 9 months, because once the TRA officer is allocated, will change the start date of your job ready program to the date which is 3 months prior to when you have started working. If you've only worked for 2 months prior, then your job ready program will be adjusted as a start date 2 months earlier, or if it's 1 month or a 1 week, so accordingly. So try to get the maximum out of it so that you can go back and your job ready program is started at least 3 months before rather than two or one. And then once you keep working, once 6 months are completed, you have to give the specific forms to the TRA. You have to keep uploading your pay slips to the TRA portal, and then you would be invited for a test date. The test would only be conducted to the workplace where the hours have already been approved for. So make sure that you work at least 3 to 4 months in one place, although you can add up to 5 employments in your job ready program, but try to make sure that you complete it so that it goes towards and your test can be conducted as soon as possible. Once you have got your test completed, then the TRA officer will ask you to keep uploading your pay slips, which is up to the 12 months from the start date of the job ready program, which has been adjusted if you had a prior employment. So you have to finish minimum 12 months and 1952 hours so that your whole program is completed. If you have finished your hours within 10 months, it doesn't mean that that your job ready program can be completed in 10 months, because it is mandatory to complete these many amount of hours along with the 12 months for your program to be successfully completed. Once that's done, the officer will ask you to upload the last pay slips where you are claiming your hours, and then you will receive the successful outcome. This successful outcome is where I was talking about. You may get two successful outcomes for a cook and a chef in a one letter itself. Then ensure that you are lodging your expression of interest for both of these occupations so that you are increasing your chances of whichever queue is at the lower points, or you may get both the invitations and you could choose into which occupation you want to go ahead with. This is the entire program for the once if you start your commercial cookery, then how it lands up to the permanent residency. Or while doing your study, if you are doing your experience as a manager, then you will be probably having three different outcomes where you can lodge your expression of interest and increase your chances to get the invitations for. Now, I would be taking few more questions about this also. Okay, so I've got a question from Preeti. Hi, Preeti. Hi, ma'am. I came on a visiting visa, applied student visa 1.5 months ago for bachelor's. Will I get visa, or what are the options? Or I have to leave the country if we do not get a visa? Okay, Preeti, yes, there have been a lot of grants in the past from a visitor visa, from a visitor to a student visa. In the recent migration strategies, the government is not liking the people who are coming from a visitor to a student visa, and we are seeing a lot of refusals that have been coming for these. You will have an option of going into the tribunal, And because the visa, when it is going to be refused, more likely the it would be on the grounds of that you are not a genuine student, you are not a genuine temporary entrant. When And then you can further go to the tribunal, and if you keep stud, then you do not have to go back to the home country while your tribunal is there, because your bridging visa will continue. And while your tribunal is processing or ongoing, if you keep studying and you convince the tribunal officer that you are a genuine student, where people have been, there have been very successful cases in the tribunal for a visit to a student which has been refused, then on those grounds you will get your student visa at that point of time. The only hindsight within this whole program is that from a visitor to a student visa, when you have lodged, your bridging visa will continue the same even when you lodge a tribunal, which has got no work rights. So if you tend to work on a bridging visa, you will not be allowed. So that restaurant manager path, which I'm talking about, where you can work while studying, will not be an option for you. For you, the work will only come once your student visa is granted, which can come through the tribunal. And if you are able to convince the tribunal member that you are a genuine temporary entrant, which will be by the time the tribunal is open, your 50 to 60% of the course must have been completed, which in the hindsight anyways shows that you have proven yourself that you are a genuine student, because you are studying when even you are not supposed to study. So within the tribunal it is not compulsory, because the condition of maintaining your enrollment is not imposed on you, as unlike the where we are holding a student visa, there is a condition that you must uh, maintain your enrollment, but you are considering yourself as a student and you are maintaining your enrollment irrespectively. So that has been very high chances of winning the tribunal, just in case you do not win at the same step at that point. I hope I answer your question, Preeti. Now the next one is from Francis. How about community services? Are you talking, Francis? I guess your question is about how about the community services? What are the PR prospects, and how good is this course is? So this is basically a 2 years of a course of a diploma in community services. There are probably a bachelor's degree also in a community services. Every state has got their own accredited diploma or a degree. The first thing is, if you're choosing this course, make sure that you are picking up only an accredited course only. And then majorly it comes the skills assessment. The skills assessment is the toughest part. If you get a positive skills assessment through the community services, then sky's the limit. Then the residency options are great, because we are receiving the invitations very quickly for the community worker. But the challenge is the skills assessment. The assessment body does the skills assessment on two grounds: either on the basis of 3 months of a full-time experience at a community coordinator level, which is a case officer level, or the placements that you have done while studying your diploma course. You need to ensure when you are doing your placements are well regarded at the level of not a support worker, where you are providing the support to the individuals in their daily activities. It should not be that. It should be on the grounds where you are working at the case manager, or with the case manager on those, not with a single individual as a community or as a whole. If you do that and you get your skills assessment, then there is no looking back. The invitations are quite easy, and even the visa processing of my clients recently, we have just got it in less than 2 months, their grant of their 190s visas once they were invited. And next question is from Sandeep. Hello, ma'am. What are the chances for cook at 90 points for 491? Sandeep, which state are you talking about? Though 90 points for a 491 for a cook looks a good option. And if you have got your skills assessment for a chef also, then please lodge your EOI for that. Because if you only have got a cook, then probably you might have done it on the basis of a migration skills assessment, not TRA. Then probably you should look into getting another assessment for a chef with the similar, and then you will be able to lodge your 189 also with your points what you are having. Nitesh, 85 points for 189, 90 points for 190, currently employed as a chemical engineer in WA. How good are my chances for next financial year? So, Nitesh, it all depends upon, are you currently a graduate of Western Australia? The graduates of Western Australia with 90 points as an engineer have got higher chances as compared to a person who's under a general stream of non-priority occupations. Because when in the previous three rounds, which has happened in this financial year, the graduates of whether they are into the priority list or they are under the non-priority list have been invited. However, for the general stream, majorly the occupations which have been invited are the ones who are under the priority sector, which is basically the health, the construction, and the social aspects of the and hospitality, right? The chemical engineer doesn't come into any of these three sectors. So if you are under a general stream, then it all depends upon how many seats is WA going to get when they reopen after receiving for this financial for the next financial year. However, for the graduates, as 190, there was no 190 for the graduates for the non-priority sector in the last financial year. So I'm assuming if the seats, number of seats are the same, then it would be a 491 for the graduates from a non-priority. Then we have got another one from the Sandeep, that is there any possibility to get 190 on 80 points for WA? As I just mentioned, for a 190, the sector is very important. And which stream are you is very important. The graduate stream, the general stream. The graduate streams from a non-priority in the last financial round have received the invites for a 491. From the priority sectors, the general stream has received 190, not the 491. I got a lot of clients where for a general stream, and it was at the higher points, right? The general stream, they're sitting at 90 points in a 491, but the invitation round came for the 190, not for 491. So they missed out on those bases either, right? So I need we to in order to tell you everything, it is very important for me to know which sector, which stream, and which state are we talking about. Now I have got Bhavti. I'm doing Cert 3 and 4 in cookery and then diploma in hospitality management. So can you give me more light on as a manager PR pathway? Okay. So Bhavti, as I initially mentioned in my when I started this video, I was talking about that you must start working as a manager, even a part time. What your allowed hours are 24, 1 year of your experience, and then once you finish your diploma here, you will be ready for your skills assessment right after that. Okay, but the only thing is that we have to keep in mind that you have also done any other diploma or a degree from back home or from Australia. Okay. If you're only year 12, you have done, and then you are doing a cert 3 and a 4, and then a diploma, then any experience that you have gained while studying will not be counted. But if you are not a year 12, you are a diploma holder from, let's say, from India, and now doing here 3 4 and diploma in hospitality, and while studying you are taking a 1 year experience as a manager, right completion after your studies, you can apply for the skills assessment and get your EOI ready while you are doing your job ready program also. So it opens a lot of pathways for you if you already have got a previous qualification. Because why I'm saying this is because Vetis has got three ways where they can do a skills assessment. The way one is Australian qualification, highly relevant, 1 year experience. Non-Australian qualification, not highly relevant, In addition to that, there is an Australian qualification for minimum certificate 4 level. Then also you need a 1 year experience, and that additional qualification is from the highly relevant sector. Or you have a non qualification, you are doing something else altogether, but you have a 2 years of an experience, then the 2 years experience is also considered. So there are different factors you can get your skills assessment for the restaurant manager. Then next again is Pinder Gill. Tell us 35 age limit for TR process. Okay, so yes, that's now we all have been hearing about that the age limit for the TR is going to be 35. And more or less, it seems like yes, it would be coming into an effect. Whether it will be retrospective or whether it is going to be implemented only to the new applicants, where when they are lodging their student visa at that point of time, then it will be applicable. It is not clear yet. So but this is coming into an effect, that we all know very well, that department has announced that the age limit for the TR would be 35. And but we are waiting for it, whether, so for example, they announced on 1st of June that anybody from now onwards, if lodge a student visa, their TR limit is going age limit is going to be 35. Because it looks because when you lodged a student visa, looking into the aspects of the eligibility of the TR, that was more than 35 at that point of time. So we are not sure of this thing yet, so we can only have more information once we hear from the department, but it looks like it is coming. Sandeep again, he says that he's from a general stream for cook at 95 points, and at 80 points for 190 in WA, cooking as a working as a full-time cook. You might be 90 at a 491 and 80 at a 190, because there cannot be 15 points difference between a 491 and 190, Sandeep, firstly. Secondly, it is in the priority sector. So you have got a chances of receiving a 190 at these points when it will reopen, because you are already working. Your requirement is to provide a 6 months of a job offer once you are invited from a hospitality sector under a general stream, which seems like you have it. And your points are also not bad. So just hang on there. And it looks like definitely you should receive an invitation based on all the rounds which has happened within the last financial year. Another question, which is from Dreamwin: which course can MBA background 2015 with 8 years work experience, coordinator and primary assistant teacher from India and PT 65, not less than 61 do? No B.Ed, no M.Ed. Okay, so what's your bachelor's qualification? Do you have any experience based on those ones? Can you apply for a vocational education teacher? What kind of a teacher you were into? Vocational school teacher does not need the higher bands in English. And then we all also wanted to know what's your bachelor's background also, so that all the whole factors can be considered, right? And Sandeep said he has also lodged a skills assessment as an accountant, taxation at 90. But you said you are under the general stream. You have got more chances of from a general stream, from an occupation which is in a critical sector, and hospitality is a critical sector. So if I weigh both, that you have got taxation and a cook, you have got more chances as a cook, definitely. Sunny, 27 years age, planning for MSW in 2025, likelihood of employment and PR after that, approx time limit for study visa to PR, best regional area for social work in view of new migration policy. Okay, so if you are talking about the new migration policy, they every time it has been that study from a regional area, because it gives you more factors or benefits of holding a 485 visa for 2 years, because now they have reduced the duration. Then you can also have a 1 year of an additional time frame of this one. And I guess these are the questions. And let me have a look. All right. So no, so these are all the questions. Thank you, everyone. I repeat again. So, if you are doing a commercial cookery, hang on there. If you're thinking of choosing any course and thinking of whether you should go into the cookery or not, from from years and years, cookery have been a very safe pathway towards a permanent residency. And yes, I would say that stick to that and complete it there. Try to have as many, because that this is the only course which leads to three different skills assessment in three different pathways. And then one or the other way you will definitely receive an invite. So it's a very safe way to study something where you have got a good career as well as the PR pathways also. All right, thank you everyone for listening. Thanks a lot.